failures, they're all a byproduct of us working hard every day in practice, staying in the present when we're in games, failing and recovering quickly from those failures, just keeping a very, very simple, narrow focus on the job at hand. And the better we do that, those outcomes have a chance of being good. But once we start focusing on outcomes and results, rankings, things don't go so well. So that's really the message that I had for the team, and the message they reciprocated to me is we don't care about that. We care about our process.
Yeah, Karen, coming out of Clear, what is the one thing you were maybe most impressed with the team, and then maybe the thing that you felt like you guys still need to work on in these coming weeks before SEC play?
Well, there were a lot of things to be pleased with. Everything in our game starts in the circle. So obviously, the pitching was very good. We didn't give up a lot of hits. Obviously, didn't give up a lot of runs. I think the thing we need to get better at in the circle is the free passes. Too many free passes, walks, hit batters, those kinds of things. We didn't give up runs, but it felt like we had too many innings where we were having to pitch our way out of potential jams. So I guess you could say a bright spot is you pitched your way out of them, but hey, let's try to avoid getting there in the first place, not making the other team earn it. I was real pleased with our defense. I think we've done a really good job of communicating on defense, understanding the situation, what we're going to do when the ball's hit to us, not letting anything drop for lack of communication. Very few times where, we felt like we could have been better at that, and we need to stay focused on that. I think offensively, as the weekend went along, we got better. I thought we started off a little bit slow against Nebraska, just in terms of being on time with our swings. But even within that game, we got better. And that's the thing about this team is when you point something out to them, they respond and they do what you're asking of them. I was pleased with how we were able to score in so many different ways, or so many different things contribute to scoring, whether it's a slap, a well-placed slap to follow it to move a runner into position, a well-executed run and bunt, things like that contributed to our ability to put up runs, and then we hit some balls hard. We don't fashion ourselves as a home run hitting team. We pride ourselves on being able to manufacture runs in a lot of different ways and use our base running to help. I would say offensively, the thing that we probably, took a look at hardest in our meeting on Monday morning was base running. There were some base running mistakes and just understanding how to read those situations a little bit better.
Karen, you were super open about winning games without Carlin in the mound in Clearwater. What are you most proud of in terms of just your pitching staff as a whole and how Aaron did and everybody on that side of the ball?
We have a deep pitching staff, and we have had that for the last couple of years. I mean, Sage Margecko came in here having had great success at the, top Division I level as a freshman, and we knew that she'd be a stellar pitcher for us. Our goal now is to just keep getting her more and more innings coming off her off-season surgery. But you've seen what she can do when she's in there. I mean, people are not hitting the ball, and that's exactly what we've seen out of Sage this entire, preseason. I mean, January, when she first started being able to throw 100%, she's throwing better than she ever has. And then Aaron Newer is being the Aaron Newer that we recruited. And nobody really got to see that last year, and that's kind of typical sometimes for freshmen. They try a little bit too hard and sort of get in their own way. And she's just kind of surrendering to, I'm just going to be me. And we always knew that she had that kind of stuff. So, it's a real blessing for us to be able to develop a staff. And we're going to need a staff like that to win championships, and that's our goal.
What do you feel like has enabled the pitching staff to kind of fuel success among each other? One person having success, kind of allowing the next person up to as well.
Well, I think a lot of that starts with their pitching coach. I think Megan Smith is, probably the most underrated pitching coach in the country. And I tried to tell everybody how good she is. And she's brilliant. And she meets them where they are. And she coaches each pitcher according to their skill set and their strengths. But I think this pitching staff, they really care about each other, and they care about winning. I think every single one of them ultimately wants to win. and they all see the role they can play in us getting victories. I think we communicate up front about our game plan for the weekend or our game plan for a given game, so that, they understand if they're going in there one time through the lineup, they're not coming out because they did anything wrong. They're coming out because that was part of the game plan for us to then hand the ball to somebody else. And, at this point in the season, we want to try a lot of different things. We have a lot of pitchers who can go 7 innings, but we also want to put them in different roles, put them in a bridge role in the middle, put them in a closing role at the end, put them in a starting role, because we know that as the season goes on, people have more and more scouting information on us. We're going to face really, really good offenses in the SEC. We have the luxury of having a deep pitching staff, and we want to be able to offset people as much as we can.
You kind of already touched on it and beat me to it a bit, but this staff has a lot of versatility to it. You can bring, for example, Newer started and came out of the bullpen a lot over the last couple tournaments. What can you say about the versatility, I guess, and how much easier does that make the job for you?
Well, it's great when you have options. I like when my job is difficult, and it's difficult in a good way, because it's a fun chess match to figure out who should go where against a team, top of the lineup, middle of the lineup, bottom of the lineup, start, middle innings, close. But again, we have a lot of pitchers who have the ability to go through an offense more than one time. And that's what, makes us as versatile as we are. And they all do something very different. And they've had the benefit of facing our offense through the fall and January. So they've had to figure out how to beat the same people over and over again and, do it with different things.
I guess how understanding is Carlin when you're making these early season pitching decisions, and what do those conversations kind of look like between you two?
Carlin's the ultimate team player. And I think it's such a great role model for our entire team because, the person who gets the most attention, gets the most accolades, obviously, has accomplished a lot in her career already, is also the one saying, hey, I trust you guys. Whatever the game plan is, I'm 100% behind it. She's the biggest cheerleader for the other pitchers when they're out there doing her thing. And again, that makes your job as a coach easy. So there's no having to manage Carlin at all. And I can't say enough about her and her character in that respect. Even to the point where this weekend we were, kind of telling her, hey, we didn't really expect that game to go like that. We thought you'd be in there. And she was like, you don't owe me anything. Just, I trust you guys. When I get the ball, I get the ball. When I don't, I'm going to cheer on whoever's out there.
Gabby Leach and Emma Clark are a pair of players who lead the team in RBIs. What do you like about what those two players are giving you guys offensively, and how much will you rely on that this week?
Well, starting with Gabby, I love her versatility. So Gabby can get in there and hit the ball out of the park, and then the next at bat, she sees, an opening in the infield, and she places a soft slap. She can drag bunt. She's good at surveying the field and seeing what the defense is giving her. She's gotten a whole lot better as her career's gone along, just managing her at bats. And you just see a calmness to her now. Doesn't get, caught up in a result, a previous at bat, anything like that. Emma, I think Emma made a big improvement from week 1 to week 2, just in swinging more aggressively. Her numbers weren't good coming out of week 1, and there was a reason. She didn't get up there with an attack mindset and get the bat off her shoulder on time. And that was a big emphasis when we got back, that we need you to swing. We need you to, hammer balls, really. Because Emma's a strong, strong young lady, and she did that a whole lot better this weekend.
Obviously, winning is great, but is there anything that you don't necessarily love about starting off a season 10-0?
I don't know how you could not enjoy winning. I think the key for us is winning and learning at the same time. And Inky Johnson, there's a clip where he talks about, can you stay committed to the process without being emotionally attached to the results? And initially, when you see that, you're thinking about somebody who's not getting good results. And now, can you get down and negative and stray? It's the same is true for when your results are good. Can you stay committed to your process and not allow good results to then lead to expectations that just aren't going to get you anywhere? So for us, it's not about being 10-0. It's more about we evaluate every day how we're playing. I mean, the girls will tell you there was a game we won, and I said I'm not happy because we didn't do this, this, and this that are all process-based things. Sometimes you're going to win without having a good process, and we're going to coach to the process regardless of the result. Thank you.
Aaron, Karen really emphasized just the process, right, for this season. What does that look like this year? And is it a different process every game? Is it a steady process? What does that kind of look like for you guys?
I think our process really focuses on the game plan and who we're facing that day. My process personally is about my breathing and knowing whatever Megan calls, it's going to work out, and kind of just getting the pitch and trusting whatever it is, it's going to work out, and not putting pressure on myself, knowing that the defense is going to back me up no matter what.
You obviously recently earned the SEC Pitcher of the Week and I think the D1 Softball Pitcher of the Week. Just what does that honor mean to you?
Yeah, it's exciting for sure, but knowing that I still have places that I can grow and playing with my teammates and them having my back every single time is just like the most exciting part about it, and I love playing with my friends.
Yeah, Aaron, Karen discussed like just being yourself this year. What does that entail, and kind of what did you learn from last year that now has enabled you to, be more of yourself this year?
Just playing for fun and playing free, and knowing that I've played this game since I was a really young girl, and I get to play this game with my best friends and my teammates, and not putting pressure on myself or others, because this game, at the end of the day, it's meant to be fun. And although it's a big school and we play really good competition, we play this game for fun.
Karen's mentioned that we've gotten to see an Aaron this year that maybe we didn't get to see last year. What do you feel like it has enabled your play so far this season?
Yeah, I kind of just touched on it. Playing with joy, playing for fun. Last year, I think I was just so nervous of messing up, and this year, I'm kind of like, it's out of my hands. Who really cares? And knowing that my teammates are going to put up the runs that they did this past weekend and just do as well as they did, and going to have my back if it's going well or if it's going bad.
When you hear Coach talk about untapped potential and how much you have it, what does that really mean to you as a player, and how much can that mean for an underclassman still trying to find their footing?
It gives me confidence knowing that she believes in me and knowing that my teammates also believe in me. And I think you can kind of just see it in our dugout. We celebrate everything that happens, no matter if it's one good pitch or if it's a strikeout, or if somebody swings and misses at the pitch that they're looking at. We just have so much joy, and we're going to back each other up if we're doing good or if we're doing bad.
How are you able to flip the switch of being nervous from last season so quickly to this season, especially when you're facing top 10 opponents basically right off the bat in the start of the season?
Kind of just controlling the things I can control, once again going back and trusting my process and trusting my teammates. And I've practiced with them for a few months now, and our practices are intense, and we've been in hard situations in practice, and games just kind of make it come a lot easier because we've been in those positions before.
Yeah, Aaron, how helpful is it to have veteran pitchers like Carlin and Sage to kind of lean on, and what have you learned from them that's maybe helped you to kind of grow and transition in college?
I think just the joy that they have playing this game, and I can pick their brains about literally anything softball related, not softball related, and they can either tell me very good information, or if they know that I just need a joke in the moment and that they need to make me laugh, they'll do that too. And I think having that balance of sometimes we'll talk about softball, sometimes we'll talk about something completely random, makes it a lot more fun, and getting to know them on a personal level makes me trust them a lot.
You talk a lot about your process and everything. Does that process change from necessarily start day or a day where you're maybe coming out of the bullpen, or is it kind of just a consistent thing?
Yeah, I would say it's consistent. I think breathing is something that we focused on a lot this year, and playing with our eyes is something that we focused on a lot this year. And I think if we, especially me, if I follow those two major steps, whatever happens, it's out of my control. And knowing that my teammates are once again going to be there for me no matter what is really helpful.
You mentioned taking some of the pressure off of yourself. Is that a mindset the whole pitching staff has, or what do you think might be the underlying current that's allowed you all to have so much success to start this season?
I think Karen touched on it. Just our deep bullpen. We have a lot of girls who can get the job done no matter what, and if one person can't, there's another person that's ready, and it relieves a lot of pressure knowing that you have 5 other girls in the bullpen who are going to get the job done, so you don't really have to put any pressure on yourself. Thank you.
There was a game where Karen described that the team didn't maybe follow the process even though the outcome was what you wanted. Can you talk about what that game was and then maybe the switch that the team made in the following outing?
Yeah, I believe that was the JMU game, and a lot of it was just like hitting-wise, we were not swinging in our plan and not swinging at strikes. And I think that attributes to the energy of the game. So then, when energy's down, it's harder to get results, and we start pressing. And you can't play free and play fun when you're pressing for results. So just sticking with our breathing and taking it one pitch at a time, whether that's offense or defense.
What do you feel like you're seeing from Erin this year that maybe you didn't get to see last year?
Erin touched on it. She's just playing with so much joy and just truly loves the game and is having so much fun out there. And I can definitely tell she's just relaxed and trusting her stuff and not trying to be someone that she's not. And it's just really great to see, and I'm super proud of her.
Sage, in terms of the off-season procedure you had and stuff, how close, do you feel to getting back to maybe your peak, and kind of how do you feel now? Is it much better from if you were pitching in pain last year at any point?
Yeah, surgery is a day-to-day, week-to-week thing. So dealing with that post-surgery is not a one-way path, and it looks different every week. So just doing the things that I need to do, day-to-day and then week-to-week to feel my best. And, I've only been pitching full out for a few months, so I'm excited and hopeful for what the next few months will look like.
The pitching numbers really speak for themselves. Obviously, you guys have been finding success early on, but would you guys say that you find and feed off of each other's success? And if so, does that kind of create like a friendly competition in a sense, where you go out, maybe one outing, you're like, oh yeah, I'd totally be how she did. The next outing, Carlin or Erin will do the same. Is that something that happens?
Yeah, a lot of times we talk about incentivizing each other. So we all have our own little things that, if I do this, if I perform this way, then someone owes me something. So it's just a way we like to be competitive and just keep getting better, even though we are having the results that show that, we are sticking to a good process and having the good things happen.
Kind of bouncing off that, what has someone owed you before or after a good performance?
Well, I'm a Diet Coke addict, so I have gotten a few Diet Cokes in the reward system we have.
Do you feel like it's kind of rare to have so much depth and also support mixed in with that within a pitching staff, and just how beneficial do you feel like that's going to be for the longevity of the season?
Yeah, it's definitely a rare thing that we have going on, not just within the staff, but within the entire team. We genuinely are best friends with each other, and we all want success. And it helps that there's no drama between any of us pitchers or just the entire team. So when someone's genuinely happy for your success, it makes it a lot easier to go out there and play freely and just attack the process.
Just came to me from your Diet Coke addiction. How grateful are you for Carlin to get you? Do you take advantage of the Weigel's discounts when she gets the free Diet Coke?
I do. I take advantage of a free or discounted Diet Coke wherever I can. So,
Who would you say kind of leads the path in terms of all of the pitchers leading with joy and trying to play with limited pressure? Because, I mean, I'm sure as a pitcher it comes with a ton of pressure. So to have you guys all on the same level of playing with joy and trying to limit that, who kind of puts that mindset into place for you guys?
I'd say we all do it in a different way. And, you know, some days it's the bullpen that carries that joy, and then other times it just kind of depends. We all bring joy in different ways. So I think just learning from each other and understanding how we are as people has definitely grown us as a staff.
Coach said, I mean, today and earlier that you guys don't like to look at rankings and that she would rather seeing you guys play Tennessee softball to the best version you can. What do you think Tennessee softball looks like to you?
Wow. Well, there's a lot of things that go into this program and being a Tennessee softball player, and definitely just sticking to your process, whatever that may look like, and dominating it, not just getting by, but attacking everything you do on and off the field. So one of the biggest things, you know, we talk about is, yeah, we're athletes, but we're also students, so you can't be good at just one thing. You have to be great at everything you do, and I think that speaks a lot to just this program in Tennessee softball.
Where are you hoping that you or maybe the team is able to grow in this next tournament?
I think every day you can just get a little better at something. So Karen touched on like base running, and with the pitchers, you know, limiting the free passes. So just attacking the zone and trusting your stuff through the zone is something you can always get better at.
What has you being able to find joy in softball looked like for you? Has it always been there? Has it ebbed and flowed? Has it come back? Kind of what has that journey looked like?
Yeah, it's definitely had its up and downs. In this past season, just kind of going through an injury and getting a different perspective on everything, I've definitely just played with so much more joy this year because at a point I wasn't able to. So just being grateful for all the moments I get with my teammates on and off the field, and just knowing that at the end of the day, we play this game for fun, and it is a game. So if you take it too seriously, then you're going to miss out on all the awesome moments that you have